Siri mutabani wa mugayavu, Siri muzukulu wa mubanda, Siri nze Siri jajjange Kintu tata Buntu, Kintu bwe Buntu Bulamu. Yeah. Ubuntu Bulamu bwe buba mu Kintu, Ubuntu ye muntu gwe muganda gw'Ubuntu Bulamu. Siri mutabani wa mugayavu, nze Siri muzukulu wa mubanda.
Being cheated, or you are on being cheated, that there is no black spot right on. The teacher is supposed to have a thing to write on. But I think we have moved on. Huh? Now they give you handouts, they send you links. That is how you learn. Yeah. Okay. So I get a black mark. I think what is this now? If it was an IS and I asked gentleman in the middle, Rick Ross's little brother, can you read for me what's on the whiteboard? Oh, there are twins. Okay, whichever of you can see what's on the whiteboard, please read it for me. Okay, you know, I think my, what do you call it, shorthand? My shorthand might need a bit of what? Updating. My shorthand might be in need of updating. But anyway, I think on that note, let us start. Yeah? My name is Ngonzi, the solution, Wataba. My name is Ngonzi, the solution, Wataba. And today I am going to talk about art being at the heart of humanity. Yeah? Even before I introduce myself and what I do and what I stand for, I'd like the class leader to introduce this class to me. Who is a class leader? Yes, let them both stand. Okay? So I want you to tell me, where's the second person?
Excuse me, sir. She was called for an errand. She's coming back.
Okay. So I think you're going to be a spokesperson. Yeah. You're going to tell me your name, and then I want you to tell me what this course is about. I mean, the course that you're doing. Mr. Rukans, you told me something to do with interior and landscaping. I'd like you to tell me the course that you're studying, and I'll give you the opportunity to summarize what you have learned so far in this 3 years.
Personally or as a class?
Speak for the class.
Okay. The course is called Interior Design and Landscape Architecture. Basically, what we are studying, what we are being taught, the way we are being trained to think is to be interior designers. Interspaces, transform them into functional and comfortable and good-looking things. You can turn this room into a modern classroom. You can make it look like a 50s classroom. That's who we are, interior designers. We can, some of the things we can do, paint, make models, we can do draw plans, we can design furniture, we design a lot of layouts, advise clients on what furniture to use, what styles to use, what fabrics, materials. Basically, we're doing interior design, interior decor, and interior architecture at the same time. Then we can also work on landscapes. We can make resorts, we can make parks, we can make comfortable compounds, the ones which you sit in and you're blown away into your thoughts. That's what can inspire you to write. I believe you write. or draw anything you want. So that's who we are. We make that possible. What other thing was I supposed to talk about? What have we learned? So what we have learned so far, as a class, we have learned how to draw plans, read plans, use design softwares, that is CAD. We have learned how to present our ideas to clients. We have learned how to propose designs to clients. So we make you buy a product you didn't know that you wanted, yet you really needed it. We have learned how to draw, visualizing something for a client. We have learned how to market ourselves. We have also learned how to communicate our ideas, that is verbally, using pictures, all the sign language, everything. We have learned all that. Then also we have learned soft furnishing as a course unit. Learning it in a whole, learning the different materials, different materials to use in a house, in a hotel, all those places. So basically, that's what we have learned. It's a lot, but that's the summary of what we have learned.
Thank you, Aiko. Yes, so you're going to speak for your friend who is an errand, and you're going to tell me and the class what you think Uganda should expect from this class. I mean, what are you taking out from this class? Or what benefit is it going to be?
Yes, my name is Akili Ya Afrika.
Say that again.
Akili G. Price. Yes. What I believe Uganda should expect from this class, first of all, is more of creativity, because I've noticed most of the interior designs outside there are basic, and most of the interior designers in Uganda are actually not from Uganda. Most people, most hotels, most parks, they hire people from outside to do the interior decorations. So we are expecting to be the interior designers that are going to change the concepts, the brains of Uganda. Also to embrace the cultural aspects, because most of the places also in Uganda, we have the western side more than the culture in Uganda. So imagine going to a place and instead find something that describes Uganda, the pearl of Africa. So that is what I'm expecting from the class of 2018.
Is that what the class expects of itself?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Akuro. So, Ivan, you're right. I am a teacher and an author, a farmer, an entrepreneur, a board artist. I'm bored. I'm a fashion designer, but I'm bored. So, bored. what would make a fashion designer poor? Lack of creativity. Material? Material? Did someone say material? And someone said no. Lack of demand. Very correct. The market has no taste. I like that. Did you say marketing? What did you say? Poverty. I want you to own your wisdom. When someone gives you an opportunity to speak, own your wisdom. Because that might be the only thing someone will take away from you. They do not want it to be half-hearted. So let that be where we are going to converse today. So, I've listened to you, your expectations, the way you judge or describe yourself, and I find it strange that you're in an art school but you did not mention art. Am I the one who noticed that? But you said everything that points towards art. Design, ideas, imagination, creativity. So when I say that art is at the heart of humanity, when you spell the word heart, what letters relate to it? I believe I'm talking very brilliantly. So do you think it's a mistake that the word art is in the word heart? So, you finalists, you've been here for what, 3 years? 4? 5? Okay, I also think it depends on who. Yeah? But anyway, what I'm saying is, you have been here, you have been in the School of Arts, and today discovered what fine art is. I didn't know. I was in art class for 4 terms while I was in Kyambogo, because I started out in class and then I was not learning and I was having problems with the teacher. So I decided to go and try my career elsewhere. And I went into the fine arts department and asked for an opportunity to learn art. And they gave me Mukeni to draw as my first test. That was quite Mukeni. Okay? But imagine doing a study of Mukeni. Yeah. The skills without a magnifying glass. Why am I saying this? If art is at the heart of humanity, then an artist must be a student of God and an imitator of nature. I'll say that again. An artist ought to be a student of God and an imitator of nature, in order to create harmony and beauty out of chaos. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because everything that you see is art. The clothes that you wear, the chairs you sit on, the buildings that you will eventually live in, the different hats you wear, your faces. When you look at women, different artists do different makeup things on people's faces. Right. So, you've been here 4 years. What is the purpose of art? What is art? If someone asks you after 4 years in art school, what is art? That's question number 1. Question number 2, what is the purpose of art? Own your wisdom and share it with us. And remember, this is a history-making kind of conversation. If you haven't taken notice. The book that I've written is called Education is Not the Key. Some of you agree, some of you do not. I'm sure all your parents do not agree. But then, the reason why the book is called Education is Not the Key is because the real lessons of life are hardly taught in. Has anyone ever taught you how to imagine? No. Tell me how important imagination is as an elemental aspect of life. Even before you think about life as an artist. Yeah? Has anyone ever sat you down and said, this is how you imagine? You think about ideas and creativity and innovation. Where does that come from? You know the difference between a human being and animals? What is it? What would you say is the difference between you and a cow? So that you get angry if someone ever called you a cow. What is it? Look at your hand and tell us. Emotion. Have you seen a cow cry? I want you to take note of cows being brought in for slaughter. You will notice here. I discovered that in third year campus at Pastor meeting and stuff. You know I guess. I try to feel for the cow. I'm saying all this to say animals actually do have emotions. That's why dogs relate to human beings. But you are not far from the answer. Emotions is part of this thing I'm looking for. What's the difference between animals and human beings? Backbencher. I found out that in life, the real wise people start in school, but in school everyone thinks that they're dense. Then they realize, once you're at the back, come to the front. Eventually I said it at the last time. So, backbencher. What's the difference between animals and human beings? Speak up. Stand up. Own your wisdom. They eat. Animals eat grass. So think about this. Is that what you said? But anyway, something, yes. Own your wisdom.
There are two differences. Number one, we have the mind, and number two, we can speak.
You have a mind and you can speak. What is a mind?
The mind is that is the factory of thoughts.
So you think animals don't think?
No, what I mean, I don't know how to say it.
Okay. Figure out how to say it. Yes.
More advanced brain.
What makes them more advanced?
Yes.
Intellectual ability. So what happens when you see a dog protecting a human being from drowning? A baby is playing by the pool. I don't know if you've seen that. A baby is playing by the pool, and the dog goes and grabs the baby. Isn't that intellectual ability? For a dog to connect. For a dog to be trainable means there is intelligence.
So that there is difference between the mind and the brain. They are two different elements.
You get in there. Is the mind an organ?
What?
But the brain is an organ.
Yes.
And where does the mind live?
The mind lives in, it is you. Yes.
So, the brain, or the brain is a subset of the mind. That's that. Stay with me. But first ask the question in your head, because the question came in your head. Behavior. So if the difference between animals and human beings is behavior, then I think human beings are in trouble. Because our behavior is becoming more and more animalistic. Have you noticed? When you look at a chicken looking after its babies, and then you see a man abandoning his babies, which one do you respect? Like you think the chicken is better than some men. Right? So anyway, by the way, this is what is supposed to happen in school. Mental stimulation. You get, huh?
Yes.
Because I remember when I studied my masters in 2011, I went and studied for 2 months, and then I dropped out. The reason I dropped out was because I didn't think I was getting value for money. I was the one teaching the class, but I'd gone to learn. I do not want you to leave this university without learning. That will be the worst waste of your time. That will be the worst waste of our taxes. That will be the worst waste of your parents' money. But what is learning? How do you know that you have learned? So the difference between animals and human beings is imagination. If you disagree, feel free to disagree. But if it has finally made sense to you, help it make sense to others. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So, animals have never imagined that they need sweater. Don't we stay in the same environment? Animals have never felt the need to build houses. Somehow, you can build houses even when there are people who have decided not to build houses. Yes, sir. How do I explain? That's nature. Intelligence. You get it? They think, but they can't imagine. This is what I'm saying. I want us to debate this conversation. You see, let me show you, for example. You're in the same class, and I tell you to get a model for a house. And then you bring a box. Have you imagined? And then someone goes and does something quite elaborate that they're hiding here. You know? And it looks nice and simple, but still. Your imagination. The time to even touch out a laptop, table there. Imagination. Okay. Can an animal do this for itself? Let me show you back to cognitive thinking. An animal's thinking revolves around survival, around food, around sex, around sleep. What more does an animal need other than those things? Water, which is food. Yeah? So if you're living for food, for drink, for sex, maybe you're not different from an animal. But as a human being, you have been given the power to transcend your situation, to go above your circumstance by using your imagination. So what imagination does is it allows you to create a picture and an alternative reality to the one that is physically present. Is that clear? So when I told you earlier that art is at the heart of humanity, I'll follow that up by saying, remember I said that every artist must be a student of God and an imitator of nature. To bring beauty out of chaos. So today I discovered what fine art is. Do you know what fine art is? Found out that fine art is that art which is done once and it is complete. You cannot go back to tweak it or improve it. Like a painting, like a sculpture, it's done. Once you hand it in, it's done. Once the painting is painted, it is done. Right? So I think every human being is a piece of fine art because you are done. Fearfully and wonderfully designed, and by now you know that artists are pretty serious. What I was doing with some people. Why some art pieces look better than others. You want to spend your time with them, don't touch them, you don't just want to be close to them. Art. Look at me and I think, wow, God. You are talented. So, I'm trying to compress so many things. So allow me to have moments where I sit and think, okay, now what should I do? So, we say art is at the heart of humanity. Do you see therefore that everything you see is art? The building is art. The compound is art. The clothes we wear is art. The cars that we drive or want to drive, it's basically art. The artist of the Range Rover seems to be paid more than the artist of the Kruger. Okay, art. Look at a car, you love it, it's art. Look at a watch, it's art. Out there. So that means that art is the biggest employer. I want to say this. We live in a country where you have been told that the arts are useless. I want to tell you that it's the most ridiculous, half-witted thing. That is the most sensible thing ever said. As far as learning is concerned, I've just proven to you that art is the biggest employer. So how can you say that artists are useless? If art is everywhere, art is in everything, how do you disrespect or despise artists? And I think that is the dilemma of every artist, that at one point in your life, you are going to be put in a position where you are too hungry to imagine. That is where artists die. When the hunger in you to imagine and create things dies, then you just become an average person. And your vision is blurred and it's blinded. And you become useless. Because you cannot create. And yet you have been given the insights, the capacity, and the talents to create the world that we live in. I want to encourage you that when you leave this university with a sense of pride and importance in the work that you do. Am I clear?
Yes, I do.
And let me tell you one of the things I expect. I expect to see more thought-through houses being built by your clients. I expect to see more thought-through compounds. I mean, when you think about this school in which you are, I want to challenge you to leave a mark before you go. These projects, these models you guys are doing, this is useless. You're doing landscape design. Look at the landscape around your faculty. Not so much.
Lecturers.
What are you going to do? What budget do you need?
Some lecturers are not what?
For that, this we need about 40. So,
Do you think we really still need sculptures? All the sculptures are expensive.
Some lecturers are not what?
Very good ball.
yeah, etc.
You know, you are very fortunate to be the only artist who created this.
Bino tembyagala.
The rest, I've been around. I've been around. I don't think that's how your class is going like that. Because you seem like switching off. Who would not switch off their phone? So, I say, this is a sick day. They don't speak to you. Fix this. I want to challenge you to leave a mark in this university. A flower is 2,000, 2,000, 5,000. Who can go to raise 5,000, 2,000 among them? If I ask you today, and I say, Ivan, I want to take a collection of 5,000 shillings per person so that we can go and buy flowers and plants. How many flowers and plants do you think will have been there? And then we choose a day and go and plant those things up inside the garden. You're telling me you still need budget? Do you still need budget? What you need is passion. What you need is vision. What you need is imagination. But that's not what this school is. So thank God I'm here.
Amen.
Because I'm expecting to see different kinds of buildings popping up in this country. So what have you been told is the purpose of art? I'd like to hear that. What is the purpose of art? Yes, sir. Own your wisdom.
I believe the purpose of art is according to one individual. Personally, I believe if art as a human being, I imagine, in order to communicate that and try to convey something like that, I have to get out. So it depends on my capability, ability, whenever I imagine the best way I can access to different medium or say stuff like that. So the purpose of art to me is to convey, to relay the intangible thought or imagination, put it into physical needs or an understanding that is communicated to somebody.
Thank you very much. Do you agree? Okay?
So the purpose of art is the love to create. If someone is so passionate and is in the mood of creating something, that is the art. For I understand in the whole sense.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
According to me, art is the only way to portray my inner feelings to the environment.
Yes, Mr. Akuro.
purpose of art is to bring life, difference, and beauty. For example, if all of us girls here look the same, the world would be boring. But the fact that God created us differently, say difference, beauty, and life.
So what's the purpose of uniform?
Uniform. It's just that we have different people from different backgrounds. So if you have to wear what you want to school, there will be a lot of segregation. So that's the reason why we have uniforms in school, so that we have unity. But at the end of the day, also the uniforms come from art.
So, allow me to tell you a secret. Kids in high school in the US don't have uniform to school. Why do we? It's about militarization. You remember those things of cold parade? Why do you think that in school every day you have to start with parade?
It's the same. It's the same.
Did you ever notice that assembly was once a week? On Tuesday, it depends on which school. What they call general assembly. Now that's assembly. But this thing of a bell is rung, or a drum is banged, and then you have to go somewhere at a certain time, stand in a line in uniform for inspection. That is the army. I know what that is about. It's about reading. It's about removing any form of individuality to create a solid unit of people who think exactly the same. What good is that? So that's where the uniform comes in. Uniformity does not always mean unity. Do you understand that? You can be ununiformed, but united. And that's why Africa is having a problem with unity. Because we want to be uniform, but without inner oneness. So we're still talking about the purpose of art. And I want to synthesize, but before I synthesize, I want to give two more people to give us their opinion. There was a hand behind there. I just say, you better say. So the purpose of art is to beautify things. One more? Yes, sir?
I think art, it's more than you can imagine, but I think it's more like bringing out the love within you for others to actually feel it. That's what I think.
Thank you very much. Yes? Expression of ideas. Creation of order. Personal message. Yes? Because?
I can make an analysis instead of violence came around because it seems the message that is actually violence.
Yes? Anyone else? You're welcome. So, you notice the word beauty. You've noticed the word expression. I think the first time I had a conversation about this with Mr. Ngonzi. Our conclusion was that, from my side, the purpose of art is to chase away ugliness and replace it with beauty. Or to create beauty to chase away. But sometimes the beauty is in the ugliness. Have you seen ugly but beautiful art pieces? You look at it and it's grotesque, but it's visceral, like it hits deep. Huh? Elijah's what? Who is it? Elijah, you have a vest that you show me.
He's on point.
Elijah's face.
Vest, flower vest.
Your face.
Flower vase.
I think people are confusing me. Or they are confusing you. Because someone said Elijah's face. Oh, face. What
Flower vase.
Thank you for clarifying. Elijah's flower vase. It's ugly but beautiful. That's what you're saying. Elijah, I want to see your flower vase.
You will see it.
But, so, the idea of art, the idea behind art is that when you look at the art, you're supposed to feel inspired. Does that make sense? It should make you feel inspired. And when you feel inspired, it should bring out the kind of feeling that makes you say, wow. Oh my God. And you know what will have happened? Worship will have happened. Art should inspire worship. I want you guys to do things in your generation that will inspire people to say, God exists in Uganda. And that's what the Arabs are doing in Dubai. They changed their country in less than 50 years. And that's what brings me to the thing that I want to talk about. Even as I bring, what time is it? How much more time do you want me to? All right. An hour. Okay, thank you. So, Dubai. Has anyone been to Dubai? I haven't yet been. I just see the pictures, read about it. You've been to Dubai? but you'll be. How was Dubai? Actually, guys, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. I want you to stand up. Introduce yourself. Yeah. And give yourself. We have allowed you, for the sake of these next 3 minutes, to call yourself Al-Hadi. Yeah. And tell us, describe for us, yeah, your vision of Dubai. As you have seen it, have read about it, I want you to collect that information, own it, and then synthesize it like it was your vision. Because we say art is about imagination. And art is everywhere. So if the Emiratis have created a beautiful place in a desert for us to go and see, and even talk about, those chapter artists. So I'd like you to paint for us a picture. But maybe not of Dubai, of the Kampala you see in the next 25 years. Imagine you are the mayor. Or maybe you are a real estate developer in this country. I want to test your understanding of what I just said, and also I want to test your understanding of imagination. The floor is yours. Alaikum salam. Okay, are we happy? Al-Hadi, about Dubai. Sure, I've never been to Dubai. But paint us a picture about the Kampala you see touched by an artist like you. Now, how does Kampala look like?
The situation in Kampala. The next 25 years, Kampala is developing very soon. Very soon already. So the next 25 years, don't expect much. Because
Picture as well.
because I remember when I was still young, they showed us an artistic impression of Kampala in 2020. And that artistic impression was showing Kampala to be like fun. Nice skyscrapers, huge roads. But as time went on, Kampala is very at a slow rate, in that we still have
Bandas,
underground roads. But in the impression they were showing, everywhere will be tomato. The streets will be cool, but Kampala still remains as it was. But a few things have changed. Very few. Some little buildings. When you go down to downtown there, they changed. I think they changed this year. Whereby the lights can pass. But now, 2025, again, they are going to add on very little if they continue moving like that.
Thank you very much, Alhaji. Give my hand. Yes, now I would like two more people to paint us a picture of the Uganda they see 25 years from now. Remember, we are talking about art being at the heart of humanity. We say art is in everything, right? And we've said that imagination is what separates us from animals. So, in Haji's vision, 25 years from today, we are still not very far from animals. You get it? Like we would not have imagined enough. And you know what's strange while you are saying that, I realized that the people who do that artistic impression are your fathers who had sat in a class like this. But beyond that pictures, it seems they can't do anything. And now if you told me that you are the leaders of tomorrow, I want you to show us, paint me a vision. So please, has anyone, have you ever been given a chance to visualize your own future? So, please, paint us a picture of Uganda. Stand up, own your truth.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon, boss. I'm Boss Joseph. So, my picture is this. Now I see Uganda from now. Not from now, but I want to start from now. I see Uganda in three aspects: economically, socially, and politically. I will start with economically. Uganda from now to 2025. Yeah, to 2025. Economically, I'm seeing Uganda struggling. What I'm seeing right now is we are seeing a struggle for survival economically. When we go politically, we shall have things the way they are, same leadership, a struggle of hiccups in politics. I don't know how to explain properly, but there will be a struggle for exchange of power. I'm also seeing socially division with people, within people. I'm seeing division within the 5 years, 2020, 3 years to come. That's 2025. But now, the picture that I would have seen from now to 25 is to have a stable economy with businesses revamped, to see socially lots of connections, countries, relations together, and also growing in terms of development. And that's my vision, what I'm seeing. I've given you the positive and the negative side of it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bossa. Bossa, right? That's a picture. You want to say something?
Peter is my name. I want to bring Kampala or Uganda in the next 25 years. As an interior and landscape designer, I want to appreciate the efforts that have been put so far. The Kampala that we have today, if you look at it 10 years before, it was different. I'll walk us through Kampala Road. At least we have some greenery right now. We'll feel some green. Let's walk through Dome Street. There's a bit of order coming in. You can see people have a bit of relaxity. Like, movement is eased. You can see there's a bit of order that is trying to come in. As we have said that art is in the heart of humanity, I look at raising a people that are going to think in a diverse manner, not in a similar manner, but in a diverse manner. Each one thinking in their direction, but yet bringing out the beauty that we need in our nation. An illustration. If we looked at our own department, you'll, as you observe, there is disorder that can be put in order. We have sculptures. When I arrived here for this course, I found this piece, for example, this very one. Which one? This one here. This right back. It was a bird. Not the other one, but this one. The one that's down? Yeah. It was a very elegant piece. Died. It's died. What? They stole it. No, I think it was blown. And since the artist had left, who cares? So we have an issue of love. If we have the love for what we are doing, then we are going to get there. How? If you love what you're doing, you do it to your best, without necessarily looking at who is doing what. I began by saying love is inevitable. If love is not there, that is why that piece is still down.
Because there's no love.
For that one. And maybe the other thing is, it has not been inculcated into us. Preservation is not there. When you move around, when anything is destroyed, who cares? I came in, I'm leaving. But I look at, as I said, raising a people full of love of what they are doing. But this love cannot be independent. It needs support. Each one lifting the other.
I want to show you something. Please, hold your thought. How many of us here would, given an opportunity, the moment you finish university and told you there's an opportunity to go to Dubai and work, go to Qatar and work at the airports and do all these things that they encourage, to go and work in UK or in Europe, in America? Let us be honest, no judgment. Yeah? We're given an opportunity. I mean, I have an hobby. Went to school, knew all his girlfriends, and the next day I hear, man went to the Netherlands on an asylum visa because private was here. To what show? Yeah. Like we knew all this stuff. All of a sudden now it's okay to get a visa. So it doesn't matter what your motivation. How many of us here, given an opportunity, would go? Put up your hand. There is no judgment. Go out of this country. Go to Dubai. Just to no, to go and work. So let us go up our hands. This is for you. These are people who are given an opportunity.
Those who don't want to go, they are coming
without asking what work. Like being like someone one time on Twitter, days of Kashumba, what. And the guy, this I think was a chase like this is too much today. Being a Uganda.